Welcome to Silver Tears. So here was going to be another day off that I just woke up and I thought, I don't have to do a reading today. So of course now I especially want to. And you know what though? It's kind of been bugging me since yesterday. I can't remember if it was in the YouTube reading or if it was in the extended afterwards. But I realized there are a couple things that I want to do. I first wanted to get in and understand kind of what your person is feeling toward reconciliation because in the we saw a bit of a hard left. I think this was in the extended because we saw a little bit of a hard left when we were jumping in there and just kind of trying to understand what was happening with why your person was doing what they were doing, and we saw that all of a sudden things are going to get way better. Then we also saw the reason that things were as challenging as they are for your person right now has everything to do with that wrinkle that happened a little while ago where things changed in the energy and things got a little bit better for them. It freaked them out a little bit and it kind of set them back just a tad. So that's kind of a little bit what's in the energy. So we were seeing kind of the energy of that setback. And now I'm wondering, this seems like it's moving kind of, and it's, of course, it's true for everyone. They're different in the day to day, like what you're feeling today may be very different from the way you were feeling, and you have good days and bad days, and so does your person. I feel like we were catching them on a pretty rough day, and so we're just going to jump in here and get a little bit of a feel for their energy. This is one of those snapshot readings, so I don't know if it's going to go for very long. I just kind of want to get in here and get a feel for what's happening with your person's energy. So we're going to look into their energy first, then we'll look into the energy that's happening between the two of you. And we've got a couple of cards that have come out here. I saw one coming out earlier in the earlier in the deck as well. Okay, we've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse and the Ten of Cups that is coming out in the upright. And so okay, so there is this recognition. We've seen this. We've seen this in previous readings, and we knew that it was an area of focus even for the month of March. But the Six of Pentacles is something about not having that equal give and take. They are really feeling like I ran into something. I ran across a situation that was too good to be true, and I did not give to it. So there's a feeling of them just being very conscious of that today. That's something that's happening in their energy. I even get the sense that somebody said something that reminded them, not necessarily of something within your relationship, but more that they have created this missed opportunity. Let's see what else wants to come out. So they're bathing in the energy of missed opportunity right now, feeling a little bit of that anxiety. There's supposed to be this anxiety falling away, but this has been a rough couple of days for them, and they're feeling that anxiety really kind of coming back. Feeling a little bit like there's this feeling like they might not know how to quite get on top of that, but by now they realize there are good days and bad days. So we've got the moon that has come out here, and this is about things that haven't shown themselves yet, mysteries that haven't yet shown themselves, and yet even like I see along with this Nine of Swords energy, this moon it's an aware moon. It's I understand that things haven't shown themselves yet, but when I come around this bend, I'm going to see a little bit more, and when the sun starts to come up, I'm going to see even a little bit more. So then we've got the Death card that talks about the change that they're going through, and one of those is even just how they're perceiving their situation. So we've seen them come into this before. We've seen them get into this anxiety and this situation of feeling like they're in the darkness before, but it was a lot tougher because it wasn't so much, hey, I know I'm just going to find my way out of this. They now really and truly recognize that there are good days and bad days. And that is huge. That's the transformation that comes here in the Death card. So the Death card really is about transformation. It's about something going away and making way for something that is new. In this case, it's an old toxic perspective that things are just not going to get better, that has gone away in favor of the realization that there is going to be a good day that always comes after. And so that is kind of allies with, or it aligns with this Queen of Pentacles sort of energy. The Queen of Pentacles energy is the energy of self-worth. It's the energy of feeling established, of It's almost borrowing a little bit of that King of Pentacles sense of I deserve to be here, I belong here. But there's this feeling that, and this is in your person's energy, that there are some things that are bugging them today. They're having a couple of tough days. They're really focusing on some things that have happened in the past that they don't feel proud of, and they're owning it. So they're hiding from you, but they're not hiding it from themselves as much as they were. And so there's this sense of, um, this is like a release almost. So it's them writing a text. They're not necessarily going to get to where they're sending this text. This is the Page of Chalices. Sometimes it's a communication. Sometimes it's, pages bring communication. Sometimes it is an apology in particular, and maybe there's some of that apologetic energy in there. I think they write a text and don't send it, or they write a letter and don't send it. That's kind of the sense that I get here. Also, that something new has opened within them. So that is, a special new energy that has happened within them, and that's as far as we go. You guys know I go until the cards stop glowing, and sometimes they got to go in different orders and things like that. But I will just give you honestly what comes out of them, and I will not take the cards that I'm not supposed to take. So it does feel like we're supposed to have another one here, though. And again, we're talking about what's in your person's energy. We've got the Seven of Wands, and here's a card that has been coming up in a lot of our readings lately. Sometimes it's in the reverse, sometimes it's in the upright, but it is usually around feeling worthy of the battle. So, do you feel like you can take it on? Do you feel confident? Do you feel like you're protected? Your person is not really feeling confident and protected. They're feeling capable, but not necessarily confident and protected. There is something about them that trusts that everything is going to be okay because they've noticed that that's the way things tend to go. That's also kind of the mood they're in. And I feel like we're taking, yep, one more card. Um, Okay, so in previous readings, we've noticed that there's been kind of some kind of shiny object that has gotten your person's attention. It's brought out some passion in them. They've made some attempts to maybe even, move toward it. There's a third party energy that's happening for a lot of you, and in some cases, it's another relationship. This talks about the shiny object no longer seeming so shiny. So we kind of knew that was coming, but the shine is definitely coming off of this object. Whether they've walked away or not is another story, but they're sitting there just very aware of, ooh, I don't like this. That's kind of the feeling that's in there. So that is that is the energy that your person is in their own specific kind of energy. We're going to look now at how things are between you. So this is your combined energy. It's what the two of you are spiritually swimming around in right now. And so it's going to impact both of you, but it's not necessarily going to be coming from either of you. It could be something that is happening to you. Sometimes with that energy, that's what we see. Ooh, hey, here's something positive. And I think it may be something that's lifting your person up. There is this sense. So remember how we had the Seven of Wands in reverse, this feeling of not really feeling confident? Here is that sense of, I am going to be okay. I am going to be protected. I am going to, it's a confident feeling that I can fight my battles. And that's what's happening between you. So there's a lot of doubt on your person's side, but within the, energy between the two of you, I am seeing something that is, a little bit more promising. So I guess let's see what else wants to come out, because that's underlying things for both of you. Yeah, you have it together. You have your stuff together. This is the Nine of Pentacles. That's the place that you keep being told to go. It's a very promising place of feeling confident about things. Feeling confident about, being able to remove from your life, with the Queen of Swords here, remove from your life the things that doesn't make sense to have. So the Queen of Swords is very logical and is capable of removing things and just taking care of business. When you feel like you've got that in you, that's a really great sort of feeling. But this Nine of Pentacles just goes right along with it, and it goes nicely with this confidence. This is fabulous. So if this is the energy that's kind of flowing between you, and then it bleeds into this energy that they have, in their own situation, that, some of that may be coming from within them and their moods. It may also be coming from, their environment, their household, maybe where they are at work. something is still kind of dragging them down and making them feel like they don't have everything they need. And I think it does have something to do with the fact that the shiny object is no longer looking so shiny, but the energy between the two of you appears to be fine. And this is going to be, you don't have to be in communication. A lot of you aren't. This is really about just kind of feeling comfortable in each other's energy. And sometimes what's needed in order to feel comfortable within your own energy is getting in a situation where you feel comfortable, uncomfortable somewhere else. And so I think that a little bit of that has maybe happened, although not necessarily getting with somebody else, just finding some realizations of where your edges are. So you know where you begin and where you end. And there's a much stronger sense of that happening here with the devil in reverse. The devil in reverse talks about control no longer being exerted over you. And so this is the energy between you. There is something about the two of you that feels a lot more familiar and positive now, because you guys have a little bit of perspective. So your person has run into something that makes them feel, oh, this is flipped over and we want it. Okay. A lot of times when I find something is flipped over in the deck, maybe it is something that I didn't notice flipped earlier, didn't really have the glow to it, and so it's just kind of there, and it just needs to be flipped back over. But this one is large and in charge. It's actually kind of a big deal. So we've seen this in a couple of the other readings. This is that Tower card, and it's that sense of things have to fall so that you can use the blocks to build them back up. And there's this sense of almost patience and an ability to do that. Patience is going to be the name of the game. That's going to be how you're able to allow this to the tower to fall and have it again not be a bad thing. We've seen that in a couple of places. We saw that in the reading a couple of days ago where we were talking about what you need to do to find your passion. We had all these readings that were saying, oh, you've got to find your passion, and it's going to help take the energy away from what you're sharing with your person and so on, which we also saw that there were some responses to that that weren't great. But the feeling is you have to allow that to happen in order to allow yourself to move forward. Just like with this death card, your person has to be able to let some things go before they can move forward. So we've also got the Knight of Chalices, but it's coming in the reverse. So this is action. This is actually, it's a lack of action because it's in the reverse, but that's the energy that's coming off the cards. Because sometimes when you read reversals, you are reading the opposite of what it means in the upright. Sometimes, and everyone does it differently. Some people don't read reversals at all. When I read reversals, sometimes it's the opposite of what it means upright, and sometimes it is a different meaning entirely. Because reversals carry their own meanings, but sometimes what I'm seeing instead is, oh hey, it's not X, Y, or Z. In this case, with the Knight of Chalices being a loving action, a flirtatious sort of energy, what I'm seeing here in the reverse is kind of pulling that energy back. So I see both of you bringing your energy back into yourselves. That is, I think, ultimately turned out a very positive thing, to be perfectly honest, because there are some things that both of you have to be able to handle in your own right, and you're going to need some distance in order to do that. So you need to pull your energy back too. Part of that is even just magnetizing other things to you. Plus, if you're moving into something that is igniting your passion, you'll need some of your energy to move over to that effort. It doesn't mean, again, that you close the door on your person or that situation. You leave that open and you just let it be. We've got the Page of Swords here, which is about jumping into something new. So there is that sense between the two of you, whether it's you starting a business or them, or maybe you finally are making a decision on writing your book or doing the new job or whatever it is. There's something that is feeling like it's starting to release, and almost a minor arcana fool feeling of I'm ready to jump in. I'm ready to jump in and I don't have to know what's in front of me. There is a strong sense of change that happens between the two of you, like the feeling of springtime coming with the Wheel of Fortune, but also with the World. There's this sense of something that's a cycle, but the cycle isn't ending because it hasn't ended properly. So there's and that's all we want from there. That's definitely the sense of something not quite being over. And yet, this feeling of they're shifting anyway, things are going to go ahead and move forward and do something. Um, okay, that's a shifting but very positive energy. There's a lot of sunlight on this. And then as we come over here, there goes a little bit of shade. So your person is bringing a little bit of that shade. But that's okay because your progress means progress to them. It helps them as and vice versa. So when one of you turns a corner, the other one benefits from it, and your energy between the two of you is helping both of you out. So let's take a quick look at, like I like to see, what is it that you should be focused on at this time? What are the lessons you most want to be focused on at this time? Just as you're looking at today's reading. And every day you can be focused on something a little bit different, although we definitely have been seeing those same patterns come out. So, again, if you find that you resonate with this and you just showed up on this channel, you might want to check out some other readings because um, we don't even want any of these cards. I turned them all over and it was like they just spilled out. But yeah, if you resonate with this one or you resonate with any of the others, what you'll notice is that they're one big long group of readings. They're general readings, but they're not going to resonate with everybody. They can't resonate with everybody. They're going to be for the people within the collective. So we've got the Six of Swords, and this is about okay. Sometimes the Six of Swords is about coming into calmer waters, and we often say that, you're coming from choppy waters into calmer waters. And then I often will say, this means that you have the opportunity to reflect. This Six of Swords is telling you that this is a great time to take that opportunity to reflect. You have this wonderful, warm sunlight sort of energy that's happening between you and your person. This is a great time for you to reflect. It's not cockiness when it's confidence, and it's just kind of a warm confidence, and you're not assuming that you're better than anyone. You're just assuming that you're doing well. It doesn't take away from anything else. It's simply feeling that warm confidence of being ready to move forward and feeling like you finally have some things together. It's okay if this tower falls because you're going to make the best of it. You're going to keep the things that belong here, and you're going to get rid of the things that don't. It doesn't have to be a negative emotional experience, even if there are going to be those moments. So there's a lot of looking at the past. Um, okay, you're going to find that you have some blockages within yourself, probably in based on the way this card feels with the Ace of Chalices in reverse. It's going to be in your heart chakra, so it's going to be the expression of love. It's going to be allowing love to really come out and show itself. And you're also going to find that this is, I was just talking about, you may find yourself triggered. You may still find that things feel bad sometimes, but this is it. This is when you find yourself triggered. What you need to do is recognize whether you are being able to allow energy to flow, whether you're allowing an emotion to flow the way that you feel like it should be. Use this as an opportunity to find places for you to solve problems or to look for the next thing. Look for the place that you don't trust in yourself. So there's the Seven of Swords, and it is not messing around. The Seven of Swords is a card of um, not being completely trustworthy. And here, the thing is that you actually do want the best for yourself, but sometimes you'll get in your own way. And so this is about recognizing when that is. So it's not so much you shouldn't trust yourself, it's when you should be questioning yourself. And there's a difference. So we've got the Knight of Swords here that's in reverse. This is a card of being afraid to jump in and do something. This is like a great, great bit here. Okay, so look for the place that you're able to reflect. This is basically giving you a map to your healing, what you need to be focusing on right now. Look for the place where you have trouble allowing something to flow, for energy to flow. It's going to be about memories. There will be an element of you thinking about the past in here. But look for that place where the emotion stops flowing, not where it flows too much and feels like it's glossing over something. It's going to be something where it's like a hard stop and you realize you don't want to let somebody closer or something of that nature. And then you've got, look for that to be a place of mistrust. This is going to be the same place. So it's a message, but it's saying in your near term, look for this to happen. It's not a bad thing, again, because you're going to be fine. This is a great time for you to run across this because you're going to be able to recognize it for what it is, and you're going to be able to decide how you want to handle it. So that's that lesson of discernment that's been coming through so many times. You have so much more emotional capacity and emotional a capacity to understand yourself emotionally than you once did. There has been a situation here that created a sense of feeling like you didn't have a choice, caused your fears to win out. So we've got the Lovers card in reverse, we've got the Strength card in reverse. This is your fears winning out. This is feeling like you don't have a choice, and it's feeling like you don't have a choice probably in a romantic situation or something where you're behaving as if it is kind of within yourself, as if it's kind of a romantic situation. So if it's not romantic, you're kind of treating it that way, or you're having the same kinds of reactions. So we've got the Page of Pentacles that has also come out here, and it's a reminder to just keep learning and keep yourself open to the messages that want to come in. They're not all going to be comfortable messages, but they are going to be imperative that you allow yourself to hear it so that you can truly do the best by yourself. So wow, I'm going to stop here. I'm glad that we got into this a little bit just to kind of see how your person is doing, because when we look at this sunny energy that's on you and then we see, a little bit of the shade and a little bit of tough coming from your person's side, but we also see what you can be doing to make things better. It's like, hey, they are actually even this is not a situation where they are necessarily making a bunch of progress. They're making some. That's not necessarily what characterizes this time, but those edges that they are bringing out are actually going to be able to help you. Those are the same sorts of things that you're going to want to use as a map to find your healing and where to focus. So I am going to go ahead and stop there. There's no extended on the end of this one. It was just me putting out a quick video for today and just wanting to check in on your person after some of what we saw in the previous readings. I will see you again, I would imagine, tomorrow, and have a wonderful day.